Next up, at UFC 312, we have Quillan Salkilld taking on Anshul Jubli. Quillan Salkilld, another most juiced fighter on this card, actually, but another juiced UFC debut. This card is a weird card because, in my opinion, we have a main card loaded with essentially UFC veterans, then one giant, that are really close fights, and then we have an undercard with a whole bunch of UFC debuts with super wide odds. But Quinlan, biggest favorite on this card as of right now. He is 7-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He is making that UFC debut, taking on Anshul Jubli. 7-1 in his career as well, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that KO loss to Mike Breeden. You're going to say to yourself, why is Quinlan a 5-1 favorite? Well, he's pretty good, right? He's a decent striker. He uses kicks pretty well. He manages range. He'll work the body. When you're comfortable striking with him, he will lower his level. He will take a shot. Overall, I think he's a pretty well-rounded guy. He can fight at distance. He can fight in the pocket. He's perfectly fine if a fight gets ugly, but he will chase finishes instead of settling in. He's taking on Anshul Jubli. Anshul Jubli is a well-rounded guy overall. He's got good striking, good grappling. He does a good job exploding into his takedown. So even if it wasn't a perfect takedown attempt, he was so fast, he got there so quick, he's usually to your hips, and it's hard to sprawl. He's not amazing anywhere, but he's good everywhere. Solid fight IQ, enough cardio to continue pushing forward. He is coming off that loss to Mike Breeden. I'm sure everybody loves talking about the fact that Mike Breeden was literally barking at Anshul, just barking in his face like a crazy person, and then he finished him. And that's why the odds are what they are. Because if you just look at it objectively, and you look at skill versus skill, Anshul Jubli's got skills. He's got very good skills. He's a well-rounded guy. But he got barked at and then finished, so now he's a bum that nobody trusts, and that's why those odds are what they are. And I'm paraphrasing you in the line movement. I am picking Quillan here. Quillan Salkilld, whatever you want to call him. I'm picking him here because I do think he is gritty. I think he's durable, and I think he will mix things up well, and it's going to be hard for Anshul to find a rhythm. But he is a UFC debut, and unless he gets that barking order, I think it's going to be a tough fight, and I don't think Quinlan's going to look like a minus 600 favorite. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, the odds are absolutely insane for this. I know that people have this perception of Jubli, that he's like some bum that this guy's going to run through. Salkilld was in his Contender Series fight, and that guy that he fought was not a bum either. But that was a close fight. It was a 29-28, and Salkilld was really trying to force takedowns in the third round of that fight to be able to secure that victory. And he is a dog, right? So if you take his third round of his Contender Series fight and the third round of Jubli's last fight, it's easy to see what's going on here. But, as you mentioned, Jubli is a good fighter. I mean, he won the first round for his Jekka, knocked him out. He won convincingly the first 2 rounds against Mike Breeden. Now, those aren't the best fighters in the world. And somebody, I think, on my Twitter said, well, Jubli's 7-1, but he's fought nobody. His opponents have a better record than Salkilld, if you look at their regional records and who they fought and all this stuff. So I know he's like this Indian guy, and people are like, oh, he's not that guy. Oh, he got blah, 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 blah. He's a very skilled fighter. And if he came in and looked good and ended up pulling out this fucking win, a lot of people are going to be surprised. Not me. I think that Salkilld should be the favorite. I would price him like 150, minus 175. Jubli is not only a good striker, but he's also very well-rounded. If you look at the Instagram, you can tell this guy's been kind of all in, right, with the wrestling, with the grappling. I have to imagine that Salkilld or Sal, whatever the fuck his name is.
That's why I was laughing.
Thinks he's going to come in. Thinks he's going to come in and take this guy down and out-grapple him, all this stuff, and maybe he does, and maybe he's worth the price tag. But I think Jubli can make this a fight. Now, I'm not going to pick him because I can't pick somebody that freezes when you bark at him. But these odds are crazy, and there's no way I'm playing what's his name at minus fucking 600.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a bet with Salkilld in it. I placed that bet, 4 or 5 days ago, whenever that push notification came through on the app. So I placed that bet before these odds are here. I do think he wins this fight. I'm somewhere in between you and the general public, where Jubli is definitely better than people give him credit for. And there is a little bit of people look at the flag and they make some wild assumptions that shouldn't be made. So there's some of that going on, and he got barked at and he got finished. So I think he is a lot better than that performance, and he's a lot better than what went on there. But I do also think that Salkilld is good. And I think he'll come forward. I think he's going to back Jubli up. I think he's going to manage the range well, give him a hard time. So I think Salkilld wins this fight, but it's definitely, I don't think he's a 6-1 favorite. I think he's better than the 175, I think was what you threw out there. I think this should be 2-1 is what I think this should be. But we'll find out on Saturday what this dude is or is not worth. $9,600 in DraftKings Fantasy. He better finish Jubli. If he's not finishing Jubli, he's not going to be worth that money. I'll tell you that much. And if you do want to unlock all the picks, the plays, the tools, the brand new event simulator that simulates fights 100,000 times and then gives you the output, you can do so now. It's only $10 for literally everything. One package, $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Bub Collins, $1.99. Angelo, this one's for you. You jabbed up Jacob. Oh, when's the 9th? It's almost our 1-year anniversary. Next week, 5 days. Our 1-year anniversary. Isn't that nice?
Cool.